Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
An Anderson County man turns himself in by calling 911 so he can be taken to jail.
An upset in a Central Kentucky mayor's race. The current mayor losing by only 21 votes. We'll hear from both the mayor and the mayor-elect.
It's a sure sign that the midterm elections are over. Campaign signs are coming down. Find out how long you have to pull the stakes out of your yard. WKYT News at 4:30 starts now.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. He says he was tired of looking over his shoulder. A wanted man in Anderson County is now in custody, and you may be surprised how he turned himself in.
Justin Ransdale simply called 911 and said he was ready to go to jail. WKYT's Sam Smith talked to Ransdale from behind bars. It's our top story at 4:30.
I talked with Justin Ransdale earlier today. He says he's remorseful and he wants to change his life around. It's why he turned himself in last Friday. Back in 2013, Ransdale faced charges of selling methamphetamine and endangering the welfare of a child. He was currently serving a diverted sentence on those charges. On Friday, he says his mother learned that he absconded probation supervision, so he turned himself in that same day. He called 911 to do it. A deputy picked him up at his mother's house in Anderson County, and he was taken to the Shelby County Detention Center. He tells me he has a meth problem, and he hopes to get it fixed.
I'm just tired of living like this, man. I'm trying to do something different, trying to change my life and better myself.
Ransdale tells me he faces 3 years for violating his parole, and he'll be in court next on November 25th. In Anderson County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Ransdale will remain in the Shelby County Jail until his next court date. An irate customer is behind bars today, accused of attacking several Lexington police officers. Kashia Brown was arrested yesterday at the Meijer in Hamburg. She faces several charges, including assault of a police officer. According to her arrest citation, she threatened several employees after being confronted about shoplifting. Police say Brown also bit an officer, kicked him in the groin, and spit in his face.
It's a cold, wet day here in the Bluegrass with rain hanging around, and we could see maybe even some flurries in the forecast by the end of the week. Let's check in with a man who has all that and more, Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, indeed. A lot of rain falling, especially across southern and eastern Kentucky for the better part of the day, and that rain is now returning to the rest of the region. A dreary sky that we're seeing playing out on our live sky cams. Georgetown, Frankfort, Richmond, Lexington, everybody into the low 50s with the clouds that are lowering and the raindrops that are now beginning to come back down. Steady supply of moisture working back in from southwest to northeast. That is your trend as you go into the evening. So if you're heading out this evening, maybe middle school basketball games, what have you, elementary school, hey, let's take the ponchos, let's take the rain gear. You're going to put it to good use if you're going to be going in and out of the door. Here we go into the southern side of Lexington. Some light rains, Hamburg Pavilion into downtown toward the Jacobson Park area out toward Tates Creek High School. Richmond and Berea. Berea really coming down as of now. And that's a band of heavy rain that extends into the southern part of Garrett County, right on top of Stanford and Lincoln County, Danville, Perryville, into the southern tip of Mercer County. And another batch or two of some heavy downpours into southern, southeastern, and eastern parts of Kentucky. And we're going to see that wall of water expanding from southwest to northeast as we go through the next several hours. So soggy weather that is out there now. But guys, when I come back in just a matter of minutes, I'm going to show you why this front that is off to our west has an even bigger shot of cold air behind it. We'll track that in here and let you know what that means for any precipitation type issues when I come back in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. You may not have felt it, but there was an earthquake this morning.
The earthquake was confirmed by the U.S. Geological Survey this morning in Hyden, Kentucky. That's inside Leslie County. It was a 2.5 magnitude earthquake, which is normal seismic activity. All right, well, talk about every vote counting in one central Kentucky town. Here's a great example. The incumbent mayor lost by just 21 votes.
Yeah, Tom Prather, a former mayor of Georgetown, beat incumbent Everett Varney to win a new term in office. But state law requires an automatic review for a margin that tight. WKYT's Victor Puente has more.
The Georgetown mayor's race was decided by less than 1 percentage point, which means the results will most likely get a second look. Incumbent Mayor Everett Varney was running for his 4th term against former Mayor Tom Prather. When the results came in last night, Varney had 4,273 votes, while Prather had 4,294. With the results that close, Varney said he owed it to the people who voted for him to request a recanvass, but he said with voting technology being what it is, he doesn't expect the results to change. This morning, both men said last night was an emotional one.
I'm a little bit crushed right now, but I'm a no coach. I've been in very close games before, and I've lost. So I'll rebound from this.
I was delighted for both myself and the community and the opportunities that we have over the next 4 years.
There was a write-in candidate, Steve Price, who's been on WKYT before because of his battles with the city of Georgetown. He received 21 votes, but Varney says he doesn't believe Price's campaign affected his because all 21 of those people would have had to vote for him. In Scott County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Tom Prather tells WKYT that if there is a recanvass, it would be held on November 13th.
Sure, you've noticed Campaign 2014 has covered the bluegrass in political signs, and now folks have a limited amount of time to pull the stakes out of their yards. The Fayette County Clerk says it's the law campaign signs cannot be 300 feet from a polling place and cannot be in the median of the road. According to the city code enforcement, you have 5 days starting Election Day to get your signs down. At that point, the city throws the signs in the dumpster.
We'll call it pollution of our city, is why we have the ordinance that says you can't put them in medians and so forth. It keeps them on private property where you're exercising your First Amendment right.
Code enforcement is the agency that typically enforces campaign sign laws. The exception is Election Day itself, when Don Blevins and the sheriff handle campaign sign enforcement.
A celebrity flies across the country just to vote in midterm elections. The details coming up. Well, life just got a little bit easier for travelers. A new app could mean that you never have to wait in line at a hotel again.
Chris Van Cleve shows us the new technology that works on your smartphone.
Farouk Ahmed spends 4 nights a week on the road, so when he gets to the hotel, he just wants to get to his room.
If there's one less line to stand on, one less thing to do, it's fantastic.
At 10 Starwood hotels worldwide, including the W in downtown New York City, guests can now walk right by the check-in counter and head straight to their room, unlocking it with a smartphone.
It really resonates with our members. We've had 15,000 SPG guests already register for SPG Keyless, and that's just in a handful of days.
By the middle of next year, the new technology will be in 150 hotels worldwide and will require changing 30,000 door locks. Both the app and the lock are encrypted against hacking.
It took 18 months to design and test the virtual key, but Starwood is not alone. Other major hotel chains are opening the door to mobile technology.
Marriott's app allows you to check in early with your phone and pick up your key from an express line. Using Hilton's mobile reservation app, travelers can choose their room from a hotel floor plan. Hilton will also start using the mobile phone room key next year.
It's likely that others will follow suit, and so this is something that should be pretty widespread in the future. Consumers are really asking for this sort of thing, so hotels are trying to respond to it.
Technology unlocking lost time with the touch of a finger. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, New York.
You may be wondering if your phone is lost, stolen, or the battery dies, the hotel can shut off the virtual key. Traditional keys are also available.
As a child, you might have spent hours playing them. Now you can access some of your favorite arcade games for free. The details coming up. It is a big night down in Music City. The CMAs are tonight.
Oh, yeah. Our Dan Stevens is out and about down in Nashville with Little Big Town. Hey, Dan.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are out and about in Nashville where these two from Little Big Town getting ready to hit the red carpet. Of course, they had to stop off and see us from Lexington.
Well, yeah. Hey, y'all.
Are you allowed to tell me what you're wearing? Because we all follow you, Miss Thang, on Instagram and all your fashion posts. What is it for tonight?
Well, it's white. And as long as everything goes well, you know, I've had zippers break before and then had to change backstage, so I don't want to jinx it, but it's this beautiful beaded white gown.
Can't wait to see it. And
now did she ask you what you're wearing or tell you what you're wearing?
What do you think? Are you married?
or do you even know yet?
We have it easy, you know. Yeah, I pick out a suit. That's not hard. It's like 5 minutes, whatever.
When you're standing next to this woman, I mean, you know where all the
looking at me anyway, so.
That's right.
That's not true. That is not true.
Huge year for you guys, yet again, another huge year. Tonight, nominated for Vocal Group of the Year. Pretty excited about it, I'm sure.
So excited. All our friends are in this category, La Young Band and Lady A and the band Perry and Zach, and we're just happy to be in that category. I mean, I think it represents country music so well, that group of artists, so.
It's about as competitive as it's ever been in that category.
Yeah,
So
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we say, really, no lie. We're just glad to be there. There's a lot of good stuff going on.
You know that feeling.
A huge collaboration tonight. You want to tell folks about it?
Yeah, we invited Ariana Grande to this little party in Nashville, and we got something special in store for y'all.
I know folks can't wait to see it. Well, listen, good luck tonight. Can't wait to see you guys on the red carpet. Little Big Town. Officer Don and Deanne out and about. Back to you guys.
Dan's just a little excited.
Just a smidge.
Well, the first look at the new Minions movie.
And the finalists for this year's People's Choice Awards have been announced. Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
Shailene Woodley leads the list of movie nominations for this year's People's Choice Awards. The young star of Divergent and The Fault Within Our Stars garnered 4 nods. Mom stars Allison Janney and Anna Faris will host the show, which will air January 7th here on CBS. Fans are getting their first glimpse of the new Minions movie. The new trailer features the yellow sidekicks from the Despicable Me movies in their new adventure. The Minions movie comes out in July.
Sounds like a teenager.
I am a teenager. Love has no age limit in the new film Elsa and Fred. Screen legends Christopher Plummer and Shirley MacLaine team up for this romance between a crotchety widower and a colorful free spirit. MacLaine says she wishes there were more films like this one for her age group.
I think you're more sophisticated the older you get about what love is, and you're more sure about actually what you need.
Elsa and Fred opens Friday. That's your eye on entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Hollywood.
One musician did not let a continent separate him from voting on Election Day. Rapper Lil Jon trekked over 2,000 miles yesterday to vote in his hometown of Atlanta. He left Los Angeles on board a 6 a.m. flight to get to the Peach State. The artist says his absentee ballot never came in the mail. The local elections director says Lil Jon's ballot was mailed October 27th, but he doesn't know what happened after that. The department does not track mailed ballots. Lil Jon is a spokesman for Rock the Vote. He appeared in a Get Out the Vote music video called Turn Out for What? It's a remix of his song Turn Down for What?
Clay Aiken did not fulfill his dream of becoming a U.S. congressman, but he gained a TV show out of it. Aiken lost to Republican incumbent Renee Elmers Tuesday in North Carolina's 2nd District. E! News reports the Esquire network has filmed every step of his campaign and will turn it into a 4-hour docuseries. The untitled project is expected to premiere sometime in 2015. It is a cart for the serious golfer who doesn't like to wait around. The details on this record-breaking speedster ahead.
Never saw the sun today. One of those kind of days, you
it just
know?
wasn't out there, was it? And Chris Bailey, we are getting ready to get colder, right?
Yeah, we are, and more in the way of rain on the way this evening, and that cold air is kind of lurking just behind the raindrops that'll try to scoot out of here second half of tomorrow. Take a look at what we're dealing with right now on your Wednesday evening. Low clouds, Sam mentioned lack of sunshine today. We've had on and off rains pretty much all day long, low 50s into all of central and eastern Kentucky. If anything, over the next few hours, rain is increasing a little bit, so it's going to pick up in coverage and intensity. And where you see the darker green, and you notice now some areas of yellow showing up. That's where it's really coming down across parts of southern Kentucky. Some areas better than an inch of rain so far on the day. Just getting in on the northern fringes of the steadier rains now across the Lexington metro. That continues to work its way from southwest to northeast. So if it's not raining in Cynthiana, Georgetown, or Carlisle as of yet, give it a few minutes. It is on its way. And again, northeastern Kentucky will see more of that as we go through the next little bit. I'm tracking additional cold fronts, and one of those fronts may unleash some Arctic air. We'll show you what I'm talking about straight ahead.
Thank you, Chris. A traffic alert to pass on to you this afternoon. As we told you at 4 o'clock, North Broadway closed right now between West 5th Street and West 7th Street. That's because of repairs on a down pole and wires from a crash this morning.
Traffic officials say inbound traffic should detour onto West Loudon Avenue, then proceed on to 7th Street. Outbound traffic is being detoured onto West 4th Street towards Newtown Pike. We're going to have a live update for you coming up from the scene here on WKYT News at 5. And remember to become a WKYT Live driver and download the Waze app. Just go to WKYT.com under the News tab. Click on Traffic for more information. The fastest golf cart in the world, a building goes red, and classic arcade games available for you online. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
Why take a leisurely stroll to the green when you can burn some rubber while getting there? It's being called the fastest golf cart in the world. On the last day of October, Plum Quick Racing took to the Darlington Dragway in South Carolina and likely broke a world record by going 118 miles per hour in a golf cart. That's a quarter mile in 12.2 seconds. Try that on the golf course.
Yeah, and after yesterday's elections, Republicans have officially taken over the Senate, and in honor of that takeover, one famous skyscraper lit up in the GOP's colors. The Empire State Building in New York was awash in red the moment CNN projected that Republicans would win the Senate. While this may look like modern technology, it actually throws back to a much earlier method of broadcasting election results. At the turn of the century, the New York Times used swinging searchlights on its headquarters to let people know who had won the elections.
Get ready to waste an entire day online. 900 classic arcade games are now available online for free. Games like Pac-Man, one of my favorites, and Frogger from the 1970s to the 90s. You can play the games in your internet browser, most default to using the arrow keys. The games were made possible by Internet Arcade, which is an effort to archive video games. I was quite good at Pac-Man.
Really? I never could do anything with it.
That's not the only, I just practiced a lot.
Who knew?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, stick with us. Here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.